way to end the first season. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome back to another InuYasha vlog, and you heard it right. This is actually our season finale to Season 1, Episode 27, Lake of the Evil Water God. I don't like this episode. I'll explain why in a sec, but let's go through the plot of this thing as quick as we can, because I want to get this over with. Of course, we are actually shooting this as we are doing 3 episodes in one go, so at least we have a couple weeks to have these out for you guys. So, in this episode, not much happens. We basically have a filler villain. Our heroes are now accompanied by Sango and Kilala, are traveling through the fields of feudal Japan, and discover a village is under attack and have been bowing down to a so-called water god. And basically, it kidnaps children, and they have to make human sacrifices every, I guess, few months or few years. It's very Kong-like. They have to do, you know, the human sacrifice, all hail the great god and everything, and obviously the sacrifices are children. So, we meet up with this really annoying kid character. I can't remember what his name is. He was just terrible. Little shit, basically. And they have to basically go into this lake, this big-ass lake, travel through it by boat, get to this little fortress, and basically find out who this god is, who turns out to be a false god. The real god is actually a goddess, which Rumiko takes interest in. And there's a great line I love here where he's like, so the lake water god is not a god, but a goddess. I guess with such beauty, I'd be willing to try it. And Sango's like, try what? It's like, nothing, resist all temptation. He just got a fucking little Thumbelina thing. How is that physically possible? But, you know, it's a very simple episode. You know, they find out who the false water god is. The real goddess comes out and battles this false god who turns out to be a serpent creature in the lake. And InuYasha and the group, of course, slay it. And things go back to normal, and we're on our merry way. Yeah, what a way to end the first season. The reason I am not a fan of this episode, I mean, it's got some charm and some creativity behind it, but it's a filler episode. And if you're gonna end the series, why end it like that? Why end it with a filler episode when you just had 3 episodes prior that you set up a new character for the later season as well as the origins of the jewel? That would have been a great place to stop. And I feel like in this sense, what happened was, I guess they had one more episode in their slot time, and they kind of had to pad it out, so they thought, let's just come up with something. And I guess maybe Rumiko Takahashi had a hand. I don't know who wrote this episode. But, yeah, it's just a really kind of poor way to end the first season, is with a filler episode. It's stupid. I mean, I don't know if Power Rangers Season 1 ended with a filler episode. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it ended with them thinking about leaving the team, but then they decided, no, we'll stick around. But it just feels very lackluster, this episode. Very anticlimactic, especially when you had those 3 episodes prior that really built things up, had tensity, had an origin to this MacGuffin that later down the line we can find out how this happened, how this came to be. So, this is definitely one of the weaker episodes, because the season ends so poorly with one more episode slot, and I wish you could have cut it and continued on with the quest. It didn't really need to end with this. It ended with the previous episode, I would have been a bit more satisfied. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I mean, the cast, again, is doing a great job. These filler characters are terrible. The kid's a piece of shit. The water god is very Jafari, with the snake shit and everything, but at the same time, you're a pointless villain that we're never gonna hear about you again. The same with the water goddess. This water goddess, who's this tiny little Thumbelina thing, and I think can become big and everything. You think that would be a good, you know, potential ally, where, hey, we need a water goddess to help us in this battle. Can you just use your waves and create a tsunami and kill all these demons? No, we're never gonna see this character again. Very lackluster, very poor, and a terrible way to end the series, at least the first season. I'm gonna give this one definitely about maybe a 4. It's not, like, one of the worst. It is one of the worst, but, like, it's not as bad as things like, I'm trying to remember which episode I really did not care for in the first season. I think it was like, I mean, all the filler episodes in the first season have been pretty kind of bottom of the barrel. But there's only a few that I actually felt, this is boring, I don't want to watch this. But I felt this one was one of the worst. I'd say, yeah, give this about a 3 or 4 out of 10. Not my personal favorite. And again, a very terrible way to end the first season. And overall, guys, looking at the first season of InuYasha again 20 years later, this first season, like, honestly, like, this first season still kicks ass. This is actually a DVD I actually got at Zeller's when they were closing. I think I spent, like, $5 on it, so what a bargain for the first season. It's a terrible version, though, because the discs keep coming out of it, which really sucks. But I really enjoy the first season. It's a good way to kind of, you know, 27 episodes isn't too bad. You can skip most of the filler and kind of cut that down to about 20 episodes, which isn't too bad, actually. It minus a few filler episodes, which are fantastic. But you get a real sense of how everything works. You get a lot of betrayal. You get a lot of action. You get a lot of plot twists. It's a great anime to look back on. It's still probably my favorite show of all time. It's funny because I have a friend who actually watched Home Movies, which is my second favorite show of all time. And I love that show. That's number 2. But InuYasha is number 1. But looking back on the first season, yeah, it still holds up. It's still amazing. It's still a great fantasy series on par with The Lord of the Rings. And I can't wait to get into Season 2. Because Season 2 is where shit starts to really hit the fan. And then, at that point, you're hooked till the very end. Which is going to be a couple of seasons. But if you guys are interested in watching InuYasha as a whole and where to obtain this series, I would recommend the DVDs. The DVDs are actually really cheap right now on Amazon. I think they're about $5 to $10. They're worth picking up. But recently, Viz is actually releasing the series on Blu-ray in high definition. So this will be the first time the show will be presented in HD in magnificent quality. And I can't wait to pick it up. I really want to get the whole show in HD. I know the final act was released prior in HD, but remember, the show originally from 2000 to 2004 wasn't in HD. But now that we are in the HD technology world, we can actually get good quality prints of the show. So I would recommend when the Blu-ray comes out, guys, definitely go pick it up. Other than that, if you want to see at least the first 2 seasons and the first 4 movies, go check it out on Netflix. It is available on Netflix, on their streaming services. I don't know if it's going to be moving to HBO Max, because the thing is with InuYasha, it's produced by Viz, which is actually owned and distributed by Warner Brothers. So, and since Warner Brothers is moving to HBO Max, I don't know if it's going to be presented on there. It might stick around on Netflix. It's not 100%. There's a couple of animes that are actually probably going to be moving to other streaming services because of licensing. So, I'd recommend watching InuYasha while you can. If it's still on Netflix by the time you watch this, please go give it a watch. It's worth checking out. So join us next time when we jump into Season 2, and it's gonna get really, really good, I think, this time around, especially during the summer season, where we have more time to discuss it. It's gonna be fun to look back on. I think I've watched the first season more than any of the other seasons, so going back and watching Season 2, this is gonna be a fun ride. So, of course, guys, right now, because of lockdown, currently while we're filming, these are gonna be on YouTube only, but they are, prior to this, Patreon exclusive. So if you guys want to go support our channel, $1 or more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features, and all the funds will be going to the potential for an InuYasha fan film. We really want to make this movie happen, and we really want to please the fans with that, because it is going to be essentially our next big project about 10 years after we did Kong. So, we're going to get on that. So, until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, saying, don't be a false god. Let the goddesses run shit. I'll see you guys later. Here's to Season 1 and Season 2. Later.